Hey there, welcome to Studio Visitor, the podcast about European music studios talking gear, philosophy and history. For this episode I traveled all the way to Paris, where I met JC Panizza of Climax Mastering. And JC has an incredible story to tell about how he got started as a sound engineer but moved all the way up into mastering. With an incredible rig of equipment and a large story to tell, let's not waste any more time. This is yet another day, another story to tell. My name is David Jones and I'm the studio visitor. Let's go. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. Beautiful people. Next to me, JC Panizza, and we're in Paris, France. Welcome to the channel. How are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah. Welcome to Climax Mastering.
Yeah, it's an amazing space. In the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make as not much noise as you want.
You can be very loud.
Very loud. Not good for the SO. Tell me, mastering is a profession that's mostly done by musicians or engineers. Mm-hmm. How's your story? How did you get started?
I started as a musician 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I put a first step in the studio, but I came in the studio as a musician, bass player. So I watched the engineer. I was like, wow, what you doing? Tell me, explain to me. So he was nice enough to explain a few stuff. Of course, I had a lot to learn, but yeah, that was my first experience.
How did you learn?
I learned myself mostly, yeah, practicing.
A lot?
Yeah, recording myself, my band, then recording other bands, then mixing my band, other bands, and yeah, that's how I learned.
What's the most valuable lesson for you as an engineer and what you do today from that time?
I guess it's important to know the whole process. So I know what it's like to record, I know what it's like to mix. So when I receive a mix before mastering, I can understand the difficulty of mixing and recording. So trying to make it sound as good as possible with the mix I get.
Yeah. Not rejecting the mix without proper comments how to do it better for the mixing engineer.
Sure. Some mix engineers are open to suggestions, so maybe we can talk.
You need to.
Of course, but some are not. But most of good mixing engineers, they are open to suggestions, so we talk before mastering.
Yeah. How long have you been a mixing engineer before you started doing mastering?
I guess 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
What kind of projects did you do?
Mostly rock and roll or hip hop, electro.
Only French language?
No. Most in English language.
Okay.
Yeah. Rock bands in France, most of them they sing in English language. Yeah.
Yeah, I know French is a big part of the music scene here, so but it doesn't surprise me. It's done in English as well. But someday you woke up and you said, I'm done with mixing, I want to do mastering, or this is not the story?
This was more like an opportunity. I tried mastering my own songs with cheap plugins, and quickly I realized that this can make a big difference. So yeah, at first I was just slapping L2 maximizer on the track and it's done. And yeah, maybe a little EQ. Oh, okay, that sounds good. And I was just tweaking by myself. I didn't learn mastering. And I had my songs mastered by pros. And I was like, wow, okay, this sounds much better. Yeah. How can I make this sound myself? And yeah, at first sounds like shit. And after a few years, starting to sound good. So I had the opportunity of opening this studio, and yeah, I found this space which is perfect for mastering studio. So just a few things that made me say yes, maybe mastering is my next.
You started off by trying, but you probably made the mistake we all make. You thought at the beginning loud is better.
Sorry, just slap an L2 and it's done. Yeah, of course.
But
you need loudness because when you finish mixing your tracks, it sounds so small. You
need loudness.
Yeah. Everybody will listen your song between two other songs, so it has to compete.
How did you discover that there are more tools than only plugins to do the job?
In the mixing studio, we had hardware stuff, so I tried it on mastering as well, but it was not at home, so I had to pay for the studio, so yeah I couldn't experiment. But deep down, I knew that hardware was the solution.
You prefer a hybrid situation or only hardware?
Mostly hardware, but of course I use plugins too.
Yeah.
I like to have a limiter at the end of my chain. So this is a digital limiter most of the time.
Which one?
Which one? I like the Withe DS1.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. I like the TDR too. Don't remember the name, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you...
TDR,
Limiter 6.
Limit 6, yeah. It's very good too. Recently I got the Ozone Suite, which has... it's very good.
Yeah.
I didn't like the previous versions.
No?
But it's the Elephant, I guess. Ozone
Elephant?
Yeah,
Voxengo Elephant.
Voxengo Elephant, I used to have it, yes, but I don't use it anymore.
No.
I like the DS1 better.
Fab filter?
Fab filter is good, but yeah.
Everybody uses it.
Yeah, I don't mind if everybody uses it, but I never liked it. It's good, I know it's good, but I always find better options.
What do you use plugins more for than only limiting?
EQ, obviously. Sometimes a little to cut a frequency that bothers me. I use digital EQs, of course, because it's more precise. Removing stuff,
resonances and all these things, like subtractive EQ, we call it.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's the only thing.
De-essing. I like de-essing the Withe de-esser.
Yeah.
It's very good too. Because it has two bands, so you can really find the good frequency.
Did you know, by the way, that the plugins are exactly the same as the hardware?
Yeah, it's just a different interface, but yeah, it's very quick to use. Yeah, maybe 30 seconds or 1 minute, it's done.
Yeah, they did a real good job by soft tube capturing that. The only difference is the DA/AD conversion. But these are digital boxes.
Yeah.
From origin.
Yeah. So there's no conversion. So I used to have the hardware, the S1 and the Q1 as well.
Yeah.
And when I got the plugins for a demo first, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's sell the hardware. And
did you try the null test to them?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so close that I prefer using the software.
Yeah,
because I can have multiple instances. I can have I can do automation more easily. Yeah, I think it's more convenient.
And then you start buying hardware. What was the first box you ever bought?
I'm not sure, but I guess the STC8.
By Cranesong, amazing
by Cranesong, yeah. And the Culture Vulture as well. It was 11th anniversary, so yeah, I guess it was the year we opened the studio.
Yeah. Why these two?
I looked up on the internet and I didn't try any of this stuff before I buy it. So
really?
Yeah. This one I knew because it exists in a non-mastering version, but it's very different.
Sounds different as well.
Yeah, sounds different and behaves different because on the Culture Vulture, when the drive knob is at 0, you don't have sound. It's like a guitar amp.
Yeah.
And this one, the 0 is here, so when you're at 0, you're not adding gain, and you can even put negative gain. So this adds less coloration, and I use it for very, very slight coloration. So
yeah, slight coloration. That's what mastering is all about. It's like half dB, maximum 2 dB.
Yeah, maybe more, maybe less, but yeah, it's that range. Yeah.
Yeah. After that.
After that, I don't remember in what order, but the last thing I got is the Lavry Savitr.
Amazing, really amazing converter.
This is game changing. I still have the 4-cell MADA2. I still use both, but yeah, I really like this one.
Yeah. Never thought about a Lynx Hilo, because there's also a common choice in mastering.
Yeah, never tried it, so.
Oh, never.
Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, everyone seems to like it, so I guess it's good.
Besides buying stuff, you also like to build stuff.
Yes, of course.
The Pulltecs.
Yeah, the Pulltecs is like my favorite EQ.
Did you do anything special about them, or just a clone copy?
Yeah, I tried almost every transformer you can buy. Yeah, no, it's pretty. It's just like the original, except for transformers. I have the original transformers, but I choose a different transformer.
What kind of transformers did you replace them with?
I have Carnhill transformers in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have coloration, but it's very subtle, and yeah, it's what I like about this unit.
It's clean, but not dirty either.
It's more clean than dirty, yeah. I think, on this unit at least. And yeah, I use it mostly to boost the treble, so it has to sound. I don't want this to sound harsh, so it has to be really soft.
Transparent.
Yeah.
Transparent. It's not multiple ins, multiple outs. You got a specific routing of your chain.
Yes.
Walk us through.
Sure.
You start with a plugin, Lavry.
Depends on the project. Yeah. Sometimes I start with a plugin, maybe an EQ, maybe a DSR to clean stuff out, clean stuff up. Sorry. Yeah. That's all I use at the beginnings of my chain, but again, according to the song, I don't know. Maybe sometimes I use different chain, but mostly first thing in my chain is an EQ in my digital chain. Then the first one in my analog chain is the Culture Vulture. I like to have this one in first because I can choose what level comes into this. So yeah, it's easier to use this way. Then I have this one, the Rupert Neve, the master bus processor, which I use mostly. Sometimes I'm compressed with it, but most of the time I don't. I just use the silk section.
Do you use the compression to slice off the peaks, or?
Yeah, sometimes, but later in the chain.
Later in the chain.
I use this one also for stereo widening. It has this SFE section, which sounds amazing. And the compressor and limiter are very good too. It has this blend knob, so you can do parallel compression. Yeah. Which is good to have in the beginning of the chain. And then I have the Pulltecs.
Yeah. Like you said, only for the high, the top
not
end.
only, but most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good for processing the low frequencies too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets really solid when you don't have to drive it that hard to get a solid low end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it sounds amazing. I use this on almost every project. Always sound good. You can turn any knob, it always sounds good. You just have to make choices.
After that?
Then after that we have the Pure Mu, which is like, almost like a Lavry Mu compressor. Similar, but much cleaner.
Built by Jionte Knif.
Yes. I really like the stuff from Jionte Knif.
If you open the box by Jionte Knif, it's like, yo man, this is next level and it's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's really,
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
Cable management is like, wow.
Yeah. How did you think of this to do it this way? But awesome job. After the Pure Mu.
After the Pure Mu, we have one more EQ. We have the Manley.
A massive passive.
Yeah. This one is the mastering version. I really like it for the mids. It sounds kind of like a Pulltec, but different.
Yeah.
And the mids are very good. Very beautiful coloration. So when I want to boost the mid, most of the time I will try this one first.
Okay.
Always sound good. Clean EQs, most of the time, I think that don't sound as good as this one.
Okay. After that?
After that, we have the Knif, the Soma. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Before the Manley, we have Knif Pure Mu, and we have this guy, the Fairman.
Fairman.
Yeah, 2 master compressor, which I got in last November. So I'm still in the process of learning what it can do, but yeah, so far I really like it.
I can imagine. It's not the cheapest box with hand built in Denmark. I saw a couple of different units from them. Every unit they sell is spot on.
Yeah.
Really. They have another compressor. It's a 2-unit stereo one. Out of this world.
Yeah.
Really
I don't know this one.
Out of this world. I don't know the type number, the model number anymore.
Okay. Now I have to buy one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't worry. Free of charge. Free of charge. After the Fairmans.
So after the Fairmans, we have the Knif Soma. The Pure Mu and the Fairmans, they serve the same purpose, I think.
It's slow compression?
Yeah. Same kind of compression, but different sound. Very different sound.
Yeah.
So, yeah, most of the time is the Pure Mu or the TMC.
After the Soma.
Okay. Soma is my main EQ, I guess.
Yeah?
I use it in MS most of the time because it has MS first. So it's the only EQ I have which can do mid-side processing. So
what do you use mid-side for in this case?
Sometimes I don't know. Maybe sometimes I want to boost the low frequencies because I want more kick, let's say. And I don't want to boost the sides because maybe there's a big bass that's left-right. So yeah, it's very convenient. I can also boost the highs on the sides. I really like doing this.
Yeah.
I think it adds much air. So yeah, I like it. And I can use it in stereo as well. So
you can also give a little bit of stereo expansion.
Sure. Yeah. This one can do this because you have a gain on each band.
Yeah.
But for stereo expansion, most of the time I go with the Neve.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Just turn a button. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Okay.
Sweet spot is easy to find.
Yeah. Only one knob.
After the Soma.
After the Soma, we have the Cranesong STC8, which is my main compressor, I guess. But as I told you earlier, I'm not a big fan of heavy compression, so it's maybe 1 dB, 2 dB.
Yeah, but that's what mastering is about. Half dB, 2 dB.
I have some friends who like to high ratios.
Why? Why?
It works for them. So yeah, it's their style. Different approach, different sounds.
In one of my previous videos, you know the guy as well, Jeffrey from the Dutch Audio and Dagoose Mastering. He really had explained it's not necessary. If the song is good, you only have to refine some touches.
Less processing is better.
Yeah, that's indeed.
So I compress maybe 1 dB with that one, if I need to. Most of the time, see, threshold is off. So last master I made, I didn't even compress with it, but I use it to gainstage, to clip the converters.
Yeah.
So the gain comes from the STC8.
There's still a Fatso in your rack.
After the Fatso is the last one, because I use it mostly for coloration, and it has this nice way to tame the high peaks, and so
it's
I like.
Highly on my list.
Yeah,
I should buy one.
You should get one.
Yeah, it's really highly on my list. Is this the older version or the new one?
It's the older version.
Yeah, the older version.
Yeah, I got it maybe like 10 years ago or 12 years ago.
Yeah, but it still sounds amazing on anything.
Yeah. Just turn it on. I don't compress with it because it's too obvious of a compression. But I just like the sound of it.
Now we know your chain, but if you start a project, is there always one thing you do the same?
Yes. The only thing I do always the same is when I receive a project, I listen to it, all of it.
Yeah.
And I think this is it's the best way to, I listen, not touch any knobs, and just listen and ask myself, what can I do to make this song sound better?
Sound better. You're listening on amazing speakers.
Yeah. They're from Legacy Audio in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best speakers I ever heard. They match really good with the space here.
I was listening to them and I was like, okay, you don't have to drive it that loud to hear really everything.
It's great for mastering because it's pretty straight. And as you said, you don't have to be very loud to hear everything. So when you have to work for 8 hours, 10 hours,
they sound kind of hi-fi, but they're totally not hi-fi.
Yeah, I guess.
When you start the song, you prepare files your own way, or you just accept what you can get your hands on?
I just work on the formats the song has been mixed on. So yeah, I accept every format, but not MP3, obviously. But
really, I'm surprised.
Sometimes when MP3 is the only file available, sometimes I can work with MP3.
The downgrade, because there's a lot of data compression on an MP3. Can you still fix that in mastering?
We cannot fix that. I can say I can fix that, but I can make things better.
But yeah, okay. But
sometimes it's better. The artist, he got this song, he recorded, doesn't want to record it anymore, or it just can't. Maybe you record it again, but it doesn't sound the same. All he has left is MP3 because I don't know, maybe he's lost his hard drive or anything.
Valuable lesson for all of you. Back up your files.
Back up your files. Always print a WAV version, even if you only need the MP3 to maybe send to your wife. But always print a WAV file.
Yeah, and convert that afterwards.
Google Drive or anything.
Yeah,
you can't lose it.
So many possibilities these days to backup files. It's yeah, not necessary anymore to lose a file.
No, you shouldn't.
No. What kind of tools do you use that are so-called not mastering grade?
I have this one, the Neve 542. Well, first it's a 500 format, so most mastering studios will never buy a lunchbox.
No, because the voltage is not high enough from that to run the circuits.
I don't know why, but yeah, mostly because the small units they.
I love 500 series. I did a video on Mr. Rene Zing. He's Soundfilm Media Studios in Luzern, Switzerland. He built his own Dream Desk out of 135 500 modules.
Yeah.
Everything that you can imagine, every color of sound, Neve, API, SSL, other stuff, it's all there.
Wow. It's like slapping plugins in your
yeah.
neck.
Well,
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, even though it's not mastering certified or whatever, how you want, it still serves a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is like a saturation unit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sometimes, not all the time, obviously, but sometimes I like to saturate a master because it just sounds good. So, yeah, this is a good tool. I have a reverb that I use maybe once a year, but once a year is good enough.
Okay.
I have this LA2A.
But the Bricasti.
Yeah, it's a Bricasti, yeah.
I talked with you up front about the grandma lamps in the back Patrick of Tidalwood. He has an M7 as well.
Oh, yeah.
Uses only one preset.
Oh, yeah? Which one? The Studio A?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one sounds very, very good.
I think it was that one. I don't know for sure anymore. But it's a short verb. He only uses that.
There's a preset called the Percussion Air. I really like to. It's maybe the shortest room in the Bricasti, and yeah, it sounds very good. But maybe 1% or something. But sometimes it gets me where I want to go.
A little bit more dimension in the sound.
The reverb, they sound very deep. So sometimes for making the track deeper. Yeah.
About your room, I see a lot of panels. I see some things in the cloud. Yeah. How did you measure this?
I didn't. Actually,
wow.
No, I just first I placed it with common sense, just where I think it will sound good, and then changed a little the positions, but yeah, it's pretty much as it was installed in the beginning.
Yeah, bass trapping is done in the corners.
The two big ones on the top are bass traps too, but they could be just smaller panels. Just because I had them, I put them up here, but they just serve as for taming reflections.
Yeah,
the cloud too.
Did you never think about using a diffuser in the room, or?
Yes, it's actually a plan. I want to build a diffuser, but it's for going on the back wall.
Yeah.
Because this space at the back of the camera is actually not perfect. So it could be better, but when I work, I'm sit here, and when the artists come to hear the master, it's best to sit here. So this is just a living room.
Yeah, it is. But it's also a kind of diffuser, but not ideal.
Yeah.
At the moment. What kind of genres do you master with?
All modern genres, but I would say mostly rock, pop songs, hip hop, electro, funk. Yeah.
Almost anything.
Yeah.
And no classical stuff, or?
No classical stuff. I love classical music actually, but yeah.
Never got a chance?
I got a chance maybe music for films, stuff like that. But I don't know anyone in the classical industry. So
Your plans for the future?
I hope to keep mastering as long as I can. I'm only 40, so my next plan for the studio, I have a crazy dream of make it work only with solar energy. So yeah, we have a good solar exposition here.
Yeah.
So a few panels on the roof might work. So that's my next step.
You don't need much energy to keep this running. Like 9 panels should be enough.
I don't know how much. I'm still in the measuring process.
Yeah.
So
If you look your career, it's almost 14 years from the starting to the end. What would you have done differently with the knowledge of now when you started?
That's a good question. Maybe I would have bought less gear at the beginning and work more with free tools, because I had all these tools that I didn't know how to use, and maybe I would have got one machine after the other and not everything at once.
Okay.
Because the learning curve is better when you have only one new machine.
Yeah.
You can go deep down into what it can do.
Common mistake of everybody that buys gear or plugins or whatever.
I was looking at mastering studios online, and I was like, okay, I need this. Okay, how much do I have? Okay, I can buy this, I can't buy this. So yeah, the speakers is a very good beginning point,
Yeah.
I would say. First, I would have got great speakers and keep working with plugins, because the ear training is the most important.
Yeah.
Now I'm used to work with this. That's fine. I'm not sure if I could get the same results with the plugins, but I think I could get good results with plugins.
Yeah, I don't think you never can even though if you have copy some plugins of your hardware, it will never sound the same.
No,
And that's okay, you know.
Doesn't have to.
We need to stop comparing plugins with the hardware. They both are great tools and they serve a proper purpose.
Yeah, sure.
We gotta live.
I agree. There's the plugin version of this one, the Soma.
Yeah.
So I bought it. Compared the sound of the plugin with the hardware. Yeah, it's not the same sound.
No.
But the plugin is good.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
sure,
not
it's
the
good.
same sound as but it's a good plugin.
There's no right or wrong in that case. The only thing what is what you prefer to work with.
Yeah.
I'm a hybrid guy. I love to process some stuff afterwards, but I mix in the box. I'm happy with that, and that's all that cares to anybody. You're happy with your gear. I'm happy. Happy people make
Just
great
about
stuff.
the sound, not
Yeah.
about the process.
Happy
Yeah.
people make great stuff. In a career of 40 years, what's the most memorable project for you that can tell a great story? Or
I don't know, there's been so many projects, maybe 1,000, so the most memorable.
crazy story to tell about a certain project?
Oh yeah, there's a story. But it's not actually very mastering related, but there's, when you grow up as a kid, you say, I want to be an engineer or maybe a musician. And you're dreaming of working with that artist that you like. And a few years back, I was working with my band, and we asked a musician. I was a big fan when I was a kid to sing on it, and he agreed, and he came here. So it was like best day of my life. There's one of my favorite singers in my studio singing on my song.
And
Zing.
now?
This was
Is still client or still related to each other?
Not really, but we had a good time. Sometimes we will hit the like button on on Instagram
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
how things work
Yeah.
these days.
Yeah.
These days. I got one question for you. I got one beat with me. Will you master my beat?
Of course.
You had a great story. A guy being a sound engineer tried about everything to get better and then became a mastering engineer with an amazing studio with amazing tools.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is there anything you left to say for the viewers? What you want to say?
Just try stuff, see how it sounds, and this is what will get you to get better.
Not all about the gear.
Not all about the gear, no. It's all about the ears, and you have to listen a lot of music. Just try plugins. It's cheap, buy plugins.
Yeah. Especially when there are special offers, like Plugin Boutique sells plugins, good plugins by SSL for €10 sometimes, or TDR.
Yeah, TDR is the best example. It's maybe like €20.
No,
30
they're
euros?
€50, but lately
Yeah.
I bought the Mastering EQ by them. It was €15 or something, but I needed to have that. I love it.
Yeah, the DMG plugins too are pretty cheap, I'd say. Well, for less than €100, you can buy a great tool. You don't need to spend thousands of euros to get only one unit. I like to work with analog stuff, of course, obviously, but I think you can get great results with plugins too. So
I think
just try and find your sound, and maybe later, if you want to get to open a pro studio, you can buy some gear.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? That's it for this episode. I want to thank JC for your hospitality.
Thank you, Davey.
We'll link his company in the description. Look him up. He did master my beat. You will hear the results in this video. And I'll see you up in the next video. I said bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Come back anytime.
Yeah, I will do so.